little thick, but we'll try to give it one quick snip. What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today, we're grafting white sapote. All right, so this last freeze got the best of me on my white sapote that I had in the ground. Very young, wasn't in the best shape, but I still have the rootstock, which I believe is Osage orange. And so that's well established. It's been giving off shoots. So the rootstock is healthy. And what I did was order some white sapote grafts online on Etsy. The seller did not specify what kind, unfortunately. So I know that's usually one of the first questions when I bring up a white sapote. So we're just gonna have to see. If for some reason it's an unfavorable variety, we can always graft later. But right now, I don't wanna waste this tree. It's spring, things are popping. So let's get grafting. All right, so I know it's probably a little hard to tell, but right here we have our rootstock. It's putting off little shoots, meaning we've got some of that spring energy that needs to be pushed out here. On the top here, you can see winter got the white sapote. So what we're gonna do is take it down a little further. Whoever grafted this in the first place went a little high, and I can see some dead spots. I'm kind of doing actually things are pretty weak until about here. I know I had this covered up throughout the winter, but I guess it wasn't enough. So we're gonna take it down pretty far, and we're gonna get one of these scions on it. Just a quick little overview. I've done a few grafting videos, but if you're new to this, we're gonna need some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, something to prune with. I have a little bit of gardening tape to finish it off, but I do have some parafilm here that will ensure that the scion is retaining moisture, doesn't get dried out. We have a nice little grafting knife. If you guys are interested, I can put a link. I'm not even affiliated, but I got it off Amazon. It's been really trustworthy the past couple years. And then we're gonna take a look at these scions. I have a nice thick rootstock, so that'll be good. I just got these in, which is why I'm running kind of quick. I have a obligation that I have to fulfill here in a few minutes, but I just got these in. I wanted to get it grafted away ASAP. These remaining ones I'm going to root, so maybe I can do a video on that because I have propagated them by rooting. Right now, I'm gonna grab the two thickest ones because I know the rootstock can handle it. And they're about pencil diameter, and that's pretty perfect. The only debate is, well, it looks like it's got enough places that it'll grow out. This one's pretty curvy. I could cut it a little higher. It's a little thicker than this one. So the debate is between these two. Sometimes it's preference. See which looks healthier. Do a little scratch test. Everything looks very lively, but ultimately, I think I'm gonna pick this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my pruning shears, and I'm going to douse some alcohol. Actually, I'm gonna get both the pruning shears and my grafting knife. Give that a good wipe down so we're not contaminating anything, spreading disease, etc. So I've grafted lots of trees around here. You never know. I think our best bet is to prepare the scion first. And one thing that just occurred to me, I can see one little node growing up this way. Sometimes when people package them, I know this was packaged on the bottom. You can never be too sure that they did it right side up. But I think to the best of my judgment, this will be the right way. Let's cross our fingers and hope so. So right now, A, because I don't need that much to graft, and B, because I don't want it bowed out like that. We got a fresh tree. I want to give it a fresh start. So for safety, I'm not gonna keep it too long just in case I mess something up. And I really don't have to snip the top. That's kind of sealed and dried out. Even if it dies back a little, we've got plenty. I'd say we've got a nice 5 to 6 inch piece there, so that should work well. So with the grafting knife here, what we're gonna do, usually I do this on my knee or something, but I'm just kind of trying to get it done. But we're gonna make a wedge, and we're gonna try to make it, you know, we're not whittling. You can see that thin green layer, that's the cambium layer. That's what we're trying to protect and retain. Those will be the two pieces that need to line up when we're grafting. And so right now I'm making a wedge, trying not to whittle too much, and I'm trying to keep it very gradual and taper down. That's where the knee comes in handy. That last bit of taper, we need to be pretty careful with. So that's good for me. And I'm gonna go bring you guys over to the actual rootstock and show you what we'll do with that. So a bit of a crowded bed here. Hopefully you guys still get a good visual. I still have isopropyl alcohol on here, so I'm gonna give it another wipe down. And in the meantime, on this Scion, I'm gonna take some of my parafilm and I'm gonna start wrapping from where I made that wedge. And it's kind of self-adhesive. It's been out in the sun a little bit, so it just broke on me. But it's kind of stretchy, and we're gonna go over the entire Scion. Make sure the top's done really well, and then I'll even come back down a little bit. And when buds burst, they'll be able to penetrate through this and it'll be fine. So you just kind of pull it tight. That'll kind of self-adhese. I just sanitized these, and we said we were gonna take it down pretty low, and that's what I'm gonna do. A little thick, but we'll try to give it one quick snip. So I still have the alcohol moisture on the grafting knife. These are handy mainly because of this flat edge here. You could almost baton it if you needed to. And so what we're doing right now, I'm not gonna go down the center. I'm gonna go kind of on the side. Actually, given the circumference of this, it'd probably be good to go down the center and just make sure we have good cambium contact on one side. So that's what I'm gonna do. And maybe not quite center. I'm gonna call it like 2/5 of the way over, just so one's a little more pliable than the other and we can manipulate it. And so that while that's driven in there, making sure that I went deep enough, I'll go even a little bit more. You don't want to push it too much. We're gonna kind of get this roughly laid in, see which sides line up better. And I could even go down just a little more. And that looks like it's gonna line up well. So what I'm gonna do, all right, so I may have lost a clip for a second, but I just wanted to show you guys. That's great contact. That's ready to wrap up. So I have this little bit of just regular standard gardening tape. And I use this because I can use a little more tension. It's not so much for weather sealing as much as it is making sure that this keeps contact. That's very important. We're gonna wrap this all the way up, and I have just enough to get by here. And I'm gonna tie that off, and I'm going to use the parafilm to secure that even more so. And like I said, we are really pushing it with this, but all right, so sorry guys, I was pushing my memory card a little bit. I'm not sure if you saw this, but what I did was I used the gardening tape to secure this down firmly. I didn't have a lot to work with, so I followed that up with the parafilm. And I especially made sure here was wrapped a few times so no moisture wicks in. Everything is very stable and we're retaining all the moisture we need to. All right guys, well that concludes our graft. Hopefully this will take off in a few weeks, especially now that it's spring. Saps are flowing, things are popping, things are blooming. So hopefully we see some leaflets soon. If you guys follow me, I'll be sure to follow up with at least a short to keep you guys posted. All right guys, well that's gonna do it for today's video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.